Hi, Satish. Thanks so much for joining us today in the studio. So you have over 20 years experience in big data and cybersecurity, and you're the founder and CTO of Elysium Analytics.
Yes.
I'm so excited to learn everything from you about cyber and data. So before we get started, can you tell us more about Elysium Analytics?
Thank you. Thanks for inviting us here. So Elysium Analytics is mainly solving the problem for IT organizations who are struggling with handling a lot of data, log data, and also finding the insights from that one. So it's basically the way we took at Elysium Analytics is a data approach and the open approach, right? These are two main things for Elysium DNA. Going from a data ground up approach, not from top down approach. So we have a strong foundation of data model, data catalog, data engineering, and that's where we latched on Snowflake. There's nothing better than Snowflake to really run all the data operations.
It's exciting to hear the data approach and the machine learning approach. We're going to double click on the machine learning approach later on,
Sure.
But can we first start with the data approach and how Snowflake helped with that?
Sure. I will give you an example here. In my earlier company, I used to have 70 to 75% of the team working on the data operations, building the database, managing the data platform, and 20% who is really working on the analytics part. In my current startup, it's other way around. 20% work on the data engineering, not on the data management, because Snowflake takes care of that one.
Amazing.
Right? Just building the data pipelines and build it and let it scale. Right? And we work 80% on the business of security analytics, like how do you create new models, new insights, how do you create new workflows, new use cases. That's where we focus on that business. That's exactly how data and security we use, and we solve the customer problems.
This is so exciting to hear. Snowflake take the operation burden
Yes.
from you so you can really focus on the innovation.
Exactly.
Can we see a diagram of how you actually build this?
Sure. I just want to give a quick view of what are the use cases we solve and how the architecture is helping to solve the use cases. So one is we optimize the SIEMs. We are a SIEM, but same time we optimize the existing SIEMs. It's hard today customers to just rip and replace SIEMs, which they already have 3 years license agreements, but they're struggling. So we get them there, we solve their problem, and how do they continue what they have and also expand their capability, capture all the data and getting more secure to the organization. And then we also have a custom use cases, and recently we had an observability use case.
It's a very hot topic.
It's again that's where today everybody there's no more visibility. I want to know observability, why it happened, what's going to happen, right? They want to solve the problem quickly. The important thing in this operational issues the MTTR should be very seconds, minutes, right?
Totally.
It's no more hours, because applications are running 24/7, SaaS applications. The business is no more 9 to 5. It's 24/7. Someone is always buying something on the web, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it's operations is very important. So, and again, we choose the same Snowflake platform.
So can we see an architecture on how
Yes.
this is actually being built,
Sure.
as majority of our audience are
Yes.
architects and builders?
Yeah, I just want to make one more point. One of the thing again, from my experience, what has done, I don't want to have multiple data sources. I want no more silos in the data, right? Centralized. Have the data centralized one place and build the apps on top of it. Right?
Totally. Snowflake, where the mission for us is kill the data silos, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think even before Snowflake started with the apps, that's the vision I had 3 years back, and we are part of the Snowflake startup program also. So this is the high-level architecture. If you see here, there are 3 main layers. One is data integration. How do you get the data? Because data is everywhere. You may have in the cloud storages, it is in the on-premise, or it is in SaaS applications, right? Running somewhere basically. The good thing is as I say, open. We leverage the open stack. We leverage 2 important open from Elasticsearch, Logstash for collecting the data, and Kibana for visualization, which is now AWS OpenSearch stack. Right? So we get the data from any of the sources. We collect the data, we have a connector. We collect the data in the raw storage. And one of the important thing, again, the beauty of the Snowflake platform, it has a very good compression of 7 to 10x. It gets a huge benefit for customers. Now the storage cost can be minimized, and that enables them to keep more data for more time, right? And it's very important in security. And we use SnowPy for streaming, and it goes to ETL, and we use the marketplace Snowflake for enrichment. For example, we use CyberSix Grill, and not only one, we use multiple sources for threat intel feeds.
You're talking about the data sharing capability.
Yes. Data sharing, like two things. We share the data from others, and we can also share the data internally, different organizations, more governance-wise.
Got it.
So, and then we apply the models, we run the machine learning models. And when I started this product 3 years back, Snowflake doesn't have machine learning. So what I need to do, I need to pull the data from Snowflake, run the models in a different product, and get back the results, and then do the stuff. And with Snowpark, we are one of the early preview for the Snowpark, and we ported all the ML into the Snowpark. Right now, ML models run next to data. That saves huge cost. And also it gives the scalability automation. I don't have to worry about two places like managing the stuff. So again, these are the things, and one more important Snowflake started, and it was iterated, and now it's performing really well, is SOS, right? Search optimization service. And we use that heavily, and we can show in the demo why it is really important for us. We have an interface like which you can search any raw data, intermediate data, any curated data, like just in seconds.
Super cool. I'm curious, you said you kind of like 3 years ago, you used Snowpark to integrate your own machine learning model into Snowflake.
Yes.
Are you actually start to leverage some of the Snowflake machine learning
Yes.
Cortex functions?
Cortex, not, we're currently experimenting that one, doing the stuff, the LLM containers. So before getting Cortex, we already started leveraging that one. I will show a quick preview.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
So we started a query assistant in our interface now, which is currently getting tested in a couple of customers, which is built on LLM as container services. But we are going to be the Cortex, adopting Cortex pretty soon.
Cool.
And if you see the top layer, this is the beauty of the openness. We adopted AWS OpenSearch, which is like Kibana before, and Grafana. They're part of our product.
Okay.
So that's one thing, right? The thing is, with the Snowflake, I'm getting all the data in one place. With Elysium, I'm getting all the interface in one place, right?
Yes.
So user no needs to go to multiple panes and multiple things. This is the beauty of the Elysium.
Love it. So can we see a demo of it?
Of course. So I just want to touch base one thing important here. Elysium, one of the important things is the data model. Mm-hmm. Like putting the data in the data lake only solves 50% of the thing. So you need to have a right data model. So you can really have a good catalog, understanding the data, so it's extensible. Now it will really make powerful analytics out of it. If the data is not clear properly, you won't get the best analytics.
So it's kind of like the data foundation is
Yes,
key to...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and we are complying with the industry standard, other data model company, like OCSF is one of the thing. Mm-hmm. And the way we architect the data model is it's easy to map to any other compliance. So that's where the agility in the place. It's nothing like, rock solid, this is box, black box. We are completely open, it's easy to extend that one. So those are the few important things I want to touch.
Yeah, so, I'm wondering, it looks very comprehensive from the architect's perspective, how it looks to the end user.
Sure, of course. Let me show the demo here. So this is our Elysium Analytics application. There are three main use cases I mentioned. One is the log management, observability, and security. There are three main use cases we solve for customers today. And if you see the left side, these are the menus, there's a discover, which is the OpenSearch dashboard integrated with our product. It's basically, you can search any, I will show you the quick, I'll just walk through the menu items and then I'll show the demo. So this is the dashboards. You can have Kibana dashboard, OpenSearch dashboards here. These are mainly used for the monitoring, and we have two dashboard interfaces. I will tell you, this is a quick anomaly detection thing, how people can do create an anomaly dashboard, whatever they want in few clicks. This is the observability part, and this is the security thing, and then we have integrations. So let me start from ground end to end. See, for anything to work, you need to get the data first. You need to acquire the data, right? So we have a bunch of connectors out of the box here, and most of them are self-service connectors. So you can just show you how to get AWS logs. So I'm not going to show a complete thing, but I will just say this is a connector wizard, self-service, how you can get a cross-account setup and start setting up the feed. Once you have the feed, the data will be flowing to Snowflake. So once you have the integration, the data is flowing, then it basically you can create alerts. There are two kinds of alerts. One is rule-based alert, other one is behavioral-based alert. Let's say if all of a sudden my response time is going very slow SLA, if it's going below 10%, you can get an alert from that. Or if you say something specific thing I want to see if somebody logging in outside of US area, I want to get an alert, you can have a rule-based alert. So, and then we have dashboards. So this is the dashboard interface. These are all like, we OEM Looker as our BI tool. So pretty much whatever the Looker functionality, you get the power of Looker like inside Elysium. So there are a bunch of dashboards out of the box we have. Like if you see, there is a compliance dashboard, there is a AWS dashboard, network activity. So I'll go through like one dashboard, which is security posture. So this is an important dashboard for every organization to see how the security posture looks in the company today, right? So this will collect all the alerts across all the sources, because if you go in any organization, you may have Netscope, Palo Alto, Mimecast. So the good and bad with security is every company at least have like 20 to 40 tools in the security itself. That's the main problem. So the SOC people need to go through each tool. I need to log into Palo Alto to see what are the issues. I need to log into Mimecast and see what are the issues. These are all silos.
Yeah.
So with the Snowflake as a data lake centralized, we collect all the logs and the alerts from different vendors into one place. On top of that, Elysium basically apply the data model, which normalizes the logs, fields, everything like, across, because there's a source IP in Palo Alto, there's a IP in like Netscope, right? So people should get confused and system needs to be correlate quickly. So with the data model, as the data lands into the system, they automatically get correlates. So that's the beauty of the data model.
And also for all this dashboard, are they come out of the box from?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And it's based on industry best practice.
Yes. As we learn, as we better the best practices, like all the customers will be shared. But there are certain customers who want certain way what they want, right? And they can be customizable for their needs. It's nothing like, this is how it is, we cannot change.
And the data model, the foundation layer actually help them to easily customize to their need.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Again, as I said, the open is important, DNA in the Elysium. We never say data model is only for Elysium. Let's say there's some other tool vendor and Snowflake they want to use. Let's say I'm a customer, Acme. I bought Elysium running on Snowflake, and they found some other tool they want to, which can be run on Snowflake. They are open. They can talk to our data model.
So is that a separate product you're actually
No,
offering?
it's basically the data. With our Elysium thing, we are open. Whatever we acquire the data in Snowflake, we keep it open for anyone else to access. So that is the beauty of the openness. We don't want the customer to have overburden. I bought another tool. I need to again acquire the data for another copy, right?
Yep.
So we are taxing the customer. So with Elysium, customer owns the data. So we own the application insights.
I want to double click on the customer own the data part.
Yeah.
Can you explain more how they actually own the data?
Yeah, basically we goes like as a connected app, Snowflake customers. They are a Snowflake customer, so they own the data.
So for people who are unfamiliar, can you help to explain them like what is a connected app?
So connected app is basically like, is working on top of Snowflake. It's basically like, let's say we are connected app. We basically act on top of the data in the Snowflake.
So you will actually working on customers' Snowflake account.
Exactly. So, but we don't restrict. We have people who work on our Snowflake account also, but we give the flexibility to the customer.
What do you see the benefit of using a connected app model?
I think the beauty is like, the data is in the Snowflake. Customer has a complete control. So tomorrow, for example, like, they want another app to use, they are welcome to use. They are not vendor locked.
Totally.
Right? So what happens in the security world today, everybody is vendor locked because they acquire the data, they keep the data with them. So customer doesn't own the data. The vendor owns the data. Tool guy owns the data. In this scenario, customer owns the data. Tool is the insights which are coming there. It's a completely flexible to the customer, right? So that's the thing. That's why I'm saying not only that one, we are also opening what we connect our data model also to third-party people. Let's say a customer has a Jupyter notebook, he wants to run it, right? Welcome, go ahead and run it. And they can use their own Snowflake warehouse to run it. So we don't restrict that, right? That's the openness of the thing.
I really love the openness
Yeah.
Alyisum is providing to your customers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we want to get the open tools also integrated. We have few tools, but tomorrow there's another tool coming, and people are loving, we will add to this one.
Perfect.
Right? That's our vision, is to really keep that open, like, the DNA continue in the journey. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as you see, the security posture is one of the critical thing in the IT organizations, the SOC teams, because it's like bread and butter. They want to get a complete visibility of the IT environment. So what we do here, we collect the logs, alerts, and insights from all the third-party tools like Palo Alto, Mimecast, Netscope, alerts, and also we have at Elysium, we look across the sources and find the alerting, like what happened when this one is happened, when something else is happened, we have alert for that, and we have behavior alerts. So we have the cross sources alerts, and we also look at the source alerts. We analyze all of them, and we apply the ML models on top of this one. We prioritize that, and everything is served in from one dashboard. So now the beauty of this dashboard is a BI tool dashboard, so you can quickly filter out everything. Let's say if you see here, John White is very high risky guy. So now we can see like what all John White is doing from the BI. You can show like everything. Now the dashboard suddenly like personalized to John White. What alert John White got in the sources, what entities like John White touched, and what are all the anomalies happen. So everything is like respect to John White. So this is only the stuff. Now what happens as a security analyst, they're always like skeptical about using the tools. They want to see the raw data. So that's exactly what we have solved in Elysium, is one of the North Star feature. So anybody can search anything in the data lake with a couple of clicks. So now I want to see about John White, what are all the sign-in activity happen. If you see this data, now you're getting this data in real time, in the last 15 minutes, all the login events, you can exactly see the complete log data. There's no filtration here. Whatever the Azure AD is emitting, you are seeing everything here, right? I don't see any tool today is giving this feature on Snowflake. So now I want to see last 90 days what activity this happening in the Azure AD. I want to search for John White. So that's the guy which we thought having a lot of bad activity, and he he was escalated in the top. So now earlier I got everything the Azure AD signing logs. Now I want to just see John White. So now I can see now it's only 4,380 hits. Now I want to see did John White went to any bad sites, right? Because we do the enrichment from marketplace sources, a threat intelligence feed. So let's see if there is if any of the events have dark feed saying yes. So now you will see so there's only 4 hits.
Cool.
Right? Now if you see, I can search this billions of records to millions into thousands into hundreds into that's how I quickly navigate.
And I'm impressed by the response time.
Yes. Why? Right? Because Snowflake is giving the SOS feature, and we are leveraging that, and we are getting to the user.
Love
right? That's the integration part of beauty of both in how we package it and getting to the users. So now all of a sudden, if you see the threat investigation guy, he has all the data at his tips, and the scale is coming from Snowflake platform. Either I do one user is doing or 10 users are doing. Snowflake takes care of the scaling part. We take care of the insights part. So this is how you can quickly navigate and do the things. Now there's so much you can do, you can do the stuff, let's say where this guy is going, so I can see the sign-in logs, the source type, because Azure AD gives a lot of noise also, interact, non-interact. I just want to get the sign-in log, just click the plus and it gets filtered out. So there's no SQL here. It's just a couple of clicks, because we are augmenting the SOC analyst capabilities higher. We don't want them to write this SQL, write this Python, right? So they do their job, we enable them with our technology. So I mean that's the power of this one. You can go this one, and these are quick indexes. I just show one source here. We also have for example a threat hunt index, which basically collates all different sources and show the data. So I don't need any filters. So at the end of the day, whatever I'm showing these indexes, these are all the views in the Snowflake, the tables and views, and all the data is getting populated here. Mm-hmm. So that's the one. I think, as I mentioned, these are the monitoring dashboards we are using from Kibana dashboards. This is where, let's say, there are a lot of Elasticsearch users which are using Kibana, and they moved to Snowflake, and it's a couple of clicks for us. So they just export the dashboards from Kibana, they import in our product, and we can migrate the data from Elasticsearch to Snowflake. So now, as you know, Elasticsearch is multiple nodes, right? It's a very operational intensive.
Yep.
We removed the operational intensive part with Snowflake platform, and we carried over the same experience from Elasticsearch to the Elysium.
Love it.
Now all of a sudden you can see the user's productivity increase 50 times, because they only look at the insights and they don't worry about managing the data platform. They're all taken care. So again, and given that open source tools we are leveraging, as they're iterating, as they're adding features, we are incorporating, right? That's the beauty of the extensibility and agility things. So this is the new, other thing, like I know Snowflake just started observability, and we also leverage some open source tools. So this is just one quick dashboard interface how we leverage looking at the logs and getting the complete visibility here. And as I mentioned, this is the Grafana dashboards integrated into your product. And I'll just quickly show one application. There's a sample application, how people get the observability of that one. So because today, if you see, like all the SaaS applications are microservices.
Yeah.
Right?
Tracing is a big challenge for
exactly, because now any activity you're doing, it's going to like 10 or 50 microservices.
Yeah.
So we don't know which microservice is a problem.
Right.
So one thing is down or going to get down. It's after the fact you'll get to know. It takes 10 hours to figure out the thing.
Yes.
And your application is down. You lose the business.
Right.
So once you lose, you know more in the race, right?
Yeah.
So this is what, again, we collect all this data in the Snowflake. So I'll just show a sample thing. So if you see, this is a sample example, right? It has 4 microservices. It can have 100 microservices. You see this here showing 5.02%, there's an error rate, right? So I know where the errors are. So by clicking here, I can see like this is error, this is something going on the Redis error, right? Now I click this one.
So the graphic here is actually showing how this microservice are interconnected visually.
Yes.
Love it.
So now I can see the services and I can go to traces. So I can click like this is one of the trace ID, right? So which has error rate. So it has error rate. Now these are the different things. There's a route, Redis, front end, MySQL. So I go down, I can see there's a Redis error, right? I look at the stuff. So if you see what is showing is like, no, there is a timeout error from Redis. How long it took for me to nail down the problem.
You just reduce a 10-hour working to 5 minutes.
Yeah. So now this is like democratized to all the SRE people. It is not like access to one person. The data is democratized, log data is democratized with the power of Data Lake platform and with the Elysium UI. And we have a couple more demos actually where we have a Snowflake observability itself. Because Snowflake has implemented traces, now I can instrument the procedures and logs, and I clearly know the same way which data pipeline is failing, why it is failing.
I really love the options you give to your customer in terms of what they can choose from.
Every enterprise has a Snowflake data lake for all the logs, not just security. Security and operational or OT, and have one place to store all the logs, one application as Elysium to serve all the insights.
That would be super powerful.
Right?
Yeah. So this is really wonderful, Satish. Thank you so much for showing the demo. It's really powerful to see all this element in this architect diagram and made into the UI and support all these great functionalities. So I promised the audience at the very beginning, we're going to double click on the machine learning model. So in the UI, in the demo, you talk about how we apply this in real time for the online part. Can you tell me more on the offline part?
Yeah, so again, there are 2 things, right? The data and the insights you saw, but in between there's a lot of data engineering pipeline happens and also the ML part. For getting the machine learning to be successful, you need to have data engineering successful. You need to understand like, what are the features, right? Have the features and make the data ready for machine learning models, right? Then apply the models. When we started, we are not having ML cabbled in Snowflake. We use another product to do the stuff and come back. Now with the Snowpark, I'm able to add the ML machine learning models, what we are having. The 2 main ML models are like, one is for behavioral, which also find the anomalies. And then we have inference models like, to how we can correlate and chain the alerts. So these are the things we are doing, and we are adding continuously new models as we see like, which are doing better. As I said, analytics is a journey. It's not one time we have done, it's like, okay, go ahead and do the stuff. On top of that, our models are not black box. Let's say for some reason, big customers have like, there are a lot of people like focus and think they have a better model. You are welcome, we can add that model. That's the extensibility and openness we are giving in our product.
Love it. Can you tell me more about like how Snowpark Container Service is playing a role in that? Yes,
the Snowpark Container Service, the main thing we are using for the LLMs, right? The large language models. That's one of the things. Actually, I want to show a quick video which we are trying at like few customers, like, doing the preview. So I just want to double click on the container thing. Like, this is a small demo which we want to show. As I said, like, it's not public release, but I just want to give a preview of the stuff because it's running on Snowflake. So this is the query assistant feature. So now earlier demo, I told you like, how to do the, like, check something. Now I can ask the question, right? Where are the errors in my logs? and just like generate and run it. It will create the query and everything. You don't need to write anything. All you need to ask question. What's happening and who are the bad users? So it show all the insights and what are all the logs with errors. So that's the beauty of it. We are just iterating on this one. This is something we want to make sure all our customers get this benefit. So it also if you see here, it has identified and here it summarized the insight for you, and it's showing where all the errors happen.
I love it. So domain expert can really focus on dig the inside and don't have to worry about the coding.
And the good thing is this is all running in the Snowflake. I want to iterate on one more time. We don't process any workload outside the Snowflake in our Elysium. 100% in the Snowflake. That's why we call more of a Snowflake native.
Love
right?
It.
We are not, it's more of cloud native. We are Snowflake native. Automatically we are cloud native.
Things we talk about native.
Yes.
Can we double click on your experience with Snowflake native apps?
We work closely with Umesh, and Umesh is in the native apps 1.0 part. So one good thing I liked at that time is basically the connected app is always running the app outside the Snowflake, right?
It's only the data part is inside Snowflake.
Data part inside, but the app is outside. With the native app is also inside the Snowflake ecosystem. That gives the Snowflake customers more confidence and comfortness because today is all about security. But some people may want outside the Snowflake. That's why we want to have both the options, native and connected app. And also it's easy the sharing part of the stuff with the connected app. I no need to install anything. It's just one click. People go in the Snowflake UI account, open Elysium native app, it start showing the insights.
Love it. What I'm hearing there is with the Snowflake native app model, it's even more secure for your customers.
Exactly.
Because it's all in Snowflake.
It's all in Snowflake.
And again, I really love Alyisum always have different options for your customers.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to make customer and get the best flexibility and agility for them.
Totally.
What is good for them.
Love it.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's on the roadmap your customers should be really excited for the next 6 months to a year?
Yes, I think we are getting it as we are we are now working closely with the customers, what more use case they want to add. And we want to get the large language models working for log data for security to really improve their SOC team productive much more.
This is wonderful. So for people who want to learn more about Alyisum, where should they go?
They should go to our website, elysiumanalytics.ai. All the information is there.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Satish. We really appreciate your time, your insight, and your expertise.
Sure, thanks for inviting me today. I really enjoyed the time here today.
To learn more about companies that are building on top of Snowflake, go to developers.snowflake.com. And be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.